The season of Lent begins on February 17th with Ash Wednesday. The 40 days of Lent are designed to invite us into the story of Jesus' 40 days in the wilderness when he was alone being tempted by Satan. The 6th chapter of Matthew, which is always the assigned gospel for Ash Wednesday, invites us into the spiritual practices of Lent, fasting, prayer, and almsgiving, but with the additional instruction that they be done in secret. When you pray, go into the room by yourself and shut the door. In one way, it would seem that the season of Lent is a time to focus inward, to examine our own hearts and lives, and engage in individual practices that draw us back to God. There is something appealing about withdrawing or retreating into ourselves away from the world, even as we are tired of living in isolation and quarantine. It has not been easy to live in community with others, not only because of needing to wear masks and keeping our social distance, but also because we have seen how fractured and divided our communities are. Can we really live in community with one another? Do we even want to do that? Lent is not simply a season to focus inward and nurture our own individual spiritual practices as we seek to return to God. But in the call to return to God, we always hear the call to return to community. For we are created to be in communion with God, to love one another, and live in harmony with all of creation. Lent is a time for us to repent of those ways in which we have failed to live in community with one another and with God's created world, and also to focus on reconciliation, to nurture and deepen the relationships that God has created us to live in and through. The focus of our devotions as a Synod for Lent are around the theme of community, created for community. We will hear from different ministry partners as they reflect on different aspects of community and how living in community does indeed draw us closer to God. I hope you will find this season of Lent a time for you to be nurtured, renewed, and refreshed as you seek to repent and reconcile, deepening always our relationship with God, one another, and God's world. I hope you will join us. Thank you.